Well,
I mean, with regards to the contour of the...
yeah, you're going to know a little bit.
A little bit?
He can fill up this upper side here, though.
Okay.
Okay? Like I say, what's going to happen here is they're going to chisel plow this, and they're going to put 10 inches of topsoil in, okay? Or 10 inches of gravel, and then 10 inches of topsoil. So it's going to be about 20 inches high, okay? Okay? If you put some fill around this upper side, you could actually feather this baby around.
And it would just blend in with the contour.
If you spend the money for the fill, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's way better than a sand mound, because normally what we get today, you know, you come in here first and you might put 24 inches of sand, and then 10 inches of stone, and then 12 inches, and pretty soon, you know, you drive down the road and see a sand mound this high. That's why.
Looks like an elephant laying on its side.
Looks like an elephant burial ground.
Yeah.
So if there's fill put in, it'll be pretty much contoured up here, but then it'll have a fall off, right?
Yeah, there will be a fall off, okay, but that's what I'm saying. You could actually, again, that's not required to blend this in. The minimum requirement on these berms is 2 to 1. In other words, whatever your height is, it's 20 inches high on the upper side. Basically 2 to 1 is 2 times that, so you'll be out about 40 inches. That's a berm like that. In other words, out 2 foot, down a foot, out 2 foot, down a foot. So your berm, you know, 40 inches, you know, would be like that. That's the minimum. But what a lot of people do, and I can show you hundreds of these systems, you don't know they're there, but they spend extra money for fill. Fill around it, right.
Slowly taper it out.
That's right. You take it around this way. That's one good thing here. The way this property is, the house is up slope, okay, and it's sloping downward. You know, you can take it around, you know, so. Different. I'll mark it. Now what I'll have to do next, we have to run perk test. Okay?
What's that?
Well, you
pour water in all of it.
Yeah, you got a probe here, and you have a probe here. Now I'm going to put 6 flags in here, okay? I'll need 6 holes dug. You don't have to dig them today, because I can't run this perk till next week anyways. I could possibly do it. I'll explain how you do it. And basically, there's 6 flags here. Okay? Now those holes, when you come over, you're going to dig down 20 inches deep with a post hole digger, not a shovel. A post, like a handheld fence post digger, you know what I mean? Okay, so when you dig those down, you're going to be down 20 inches. 6 to 8 inch diameter. Okay? And you put about 2 inches of gravel in the bottom. Once you dig them though, the sidewalls are going to be pretty smooth. You actually take like a screwdriver or something like that, and you just rough the sides up. You saw how that soil smears. So you just take your screwdriver in on an angle, and just sort of rough it up with the sidewalls, you know what I mean? It's not cheating, we're making the soil natural. If you're digging up and down, you're not making it natural, you're smearing that as you're hitting it, okay? But what happens then, I'll call you, and I might even be able to do it Monday, I'm not sure yet. I'll have to let you know. What you would do is, you would dig these holes, and then Sunday afternoon, just fill them with water. Just fill them right to the top, okay? Then I come in the next day, and I'll put floats in these holes. And every half hour, I'll put 6 inches of water in that hole. And it'll drop down. And I fill it up again, and it'll drop down. You keep doing it over and over and over, okay? It'll get slower and slower. It's going to get to a saturation point. When it gets to that point, I could stand out here every day for a week, as long as we don't get a rainstorm, okay? If I keep adding the same amount of water every half hour, it's going to do basically the same thing. That's like you have a septic system, okay? It's got to work when it's wet. You know, the wet spring, we want this to be saturated, extremely saturated when we perk it. That's why we pre-soak the day before.